Welcome to the altar server training video for the transfer of lights. This video will demonstrate the procedures on how to properly transfer the candle lights from the outer candlesticks to the inner candlesticks. The transfer of lights is the part of the Mass that signifies the end of the Liturgy of the Word and the beginning of the Liturgy of the Eucharist. After the homily, the congregation will stand to hear the deacon announce the prayers of the faithful. Once the intercessions are complete, the congregation will be seated. This is the cue for the ambo side acolyte to walk directly to the chairs behind the credence table, while the choir side acolyte performs the transfer of the lights. Both servers should walk reverently with their hands in the prayer position. The choir side acolyte will retrieve the snuffer from the stone wall next to the lectionary and light the wick using the flame on the candle. Once the wick is lit, the acolyte will extinguish the candle using the snuffer. Candles should never be extinguished by blowing on them. After extinguishing the candle, the acolyte will proceed to the altar. Servers can light the altar candlesticks either by removing the glass globe from the candlestick or by inserting the flame into the globe. Both methods will be shown in this video. If the server removes the globe, it can be placed on the altar while lighting the candle, but must be immediately put back in its place once the candle is lit. The acolyte will stop directly in front of the altar and slightly bow. Be sure to hold the snuffer across your chest to keep the flame away from the altar cloth. Once the second candle is lit, the acolyte will extinguish the flame on the snuffer by lowering and then raising the wick. The wick should be sticking out of the tube. The server will then walk around the kneeling pad to avoid tripping. Do not walk over the kneeling pad. Lastly, the acolyte will use the snuffer to extinguish the final candle and then walk to the back chairs behind the credence table. The snuffer can be placed on the stone wall near the credence table. Now from a different angle. This part will show the acolyte lighting the candle by inserting the flame into the globe. Take your time through this process. There is plenty of time to transfer the lights while other actions are occurring, to include setting the altar, removing the book of the Gospels from the altar, and the collection. Remember to pause directly in front of the altar and slightly bow. When you extinguish the snuffer, be sure the wick is sticking out of the tube. Then walk around the kneeling pad. Note, if the flame on the snuffer accidentally goes out, don't panic. Simply walk over to the far candle and relight the snuffer. Remember to bow in front of the altar each time you pass directly in front of it.